here at Kajun Reseller, you give me an offer and I'll take it.
I say, this is Johnny's place, where you can have it for no problem. I got the dollars.
Fixed income, no credit, back credit. Here at Cajun Roots Reseller, that's no problem.
Let him have it.
I've got my dollars and I sent in my best offer.
We say yes. See the special man. The easiest man on YouTube.
You got the dollars? We got the offer? Let him have it with no problem. Hello, and good morning on this TGIF. And yes, it is St. Patty's Day. Hello, good morning, and welcome. And A.L. Skinners, hello, good morning, and welcome. First in the chat. And there's Jeffrey, hello, good morning, and welcome. And Stacy, hello, good morning, and welcome. And Mark, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. Margie, hello, good morning, and welcome. Apparently, yes. I told Robert I was doing that this morning. He laughed at me and said, she's going to kill you. Yes, you are the featured channel of the week, y'all. So definitely check it out. Get us some watch hours. She put out more videos, so go definitely watch them. I caught up on one this morning. I got to go back and watch it and make comments because I didn't do that. I was working this morning, going through some jewelry. It just happened I was watching her show from the last one she just did. All right, today in the show lineup of the day's shows, you have at 9 o'clock is Silver Hair Stacker Todd. At 9 o'clock, at 9:45 is Nora, the Stock Explorer. She goes live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9:45. Ella will be live today at 10, but I know Victoria's not going to be there. I can't remember who she said was going to be in her place. 10 o'clock is Stacy May Catitudes with her crafting. At 11:30 is Jackass Retro with his ephemera. 12 o'clock is Horizon Picks, a solo sale. At 1 o'clock is Let's Do Lunch podcast, and that's with Angie Resell, Rachel Stickler, and Christine the Rule Squirrel. 4 o'clock is Southern Siren Vintage. At 5 o'clock is New England Thrifter Helen. 5 o'clock is Sabrina with Simon Says Let's Make a Deal. At 6 o'clock, you also have Deb's Wood Burning. And at 6 o'clock, you also have Jimmy to Flip It, where he does a lot with his listing and live, with ephemera, postcards, and all that good stuff. At 6:45 is I Spy Queen Anitra. And then at 7 o'clock, you also have Steve Looking for Silver. He does a lot with the coin community. 7 o'clock is Treasures Found with Jeff with his live sale. At 7:30 is Mess Hall Diggs live for no reason. And then at 8 o'clock, Roy comes back with his Horizon Picks comic sale. At 8 o'clock, you also have Living My Best Life at 60. And if I'm not mistaken, I think she's celebrating her 60th birthday, which I think is coming soon. Vintage Jewels, Gems, and Pearls. Margie goes live at 9. And the end of the night and start the weekend is Steph Sells Stuff by the Seashore. Again, if you haven't heard your channel and you got something going on, please make sure you do go to the comment section below, which should be the 3rd or 4th post now, which I need to up that up. And leave me a comment. Let me know if you have a show and you want me to put you on the calendar. What are you featuring, Jennifer? Good question, Craig. Oh, let's see there. Glenn, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. And so this morning we will have Lori, as soon as she finishes dropping off her kids at school and then going back home, she'll be here in reference to the Q&A all about Etsy today. So get your questions ready for when she comes in. Patrick, the working Patrick today. Hello, good morning, and welcome, sir. How are you doing? Good to see you. So this morning I've been going through a lot of the jewelry. I am getting ready for my auction Sunday, which I will be live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Mark and Mike with 2 Old Guys Vintage and Resell as their guests this Sunday. Also, don't forget that tomorrow the Hoosier Stacker Bingo will not be airing tomorrow because Ida Herring has her children's I'm having a brain freeze. It's a 10-hour Saturday and Sunday for the Children's Hospital fundraiser she's doing. And that'll be on her channel, Ida Herring. And then she's doing it for 10 hours starting at 1 o'clock on Saturday and 1 o'clock on Sunday. So definitely check that out. Pam, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing tonight? For dinner, I will be having corned. Ew, I don't eat that stuff. Cabbage, I do. Corned beef, no. Too salty for me. And so I'm also going through some stuff and listing on either eBay, Mercari, or Etsy, or my antique booth. I got to start doing some tags because I just went through some more stuff to put in my antique booth as well. So that's my goal this weekend because Sunday we're going to an coin show in Nashua, New Hampshire. Spirit Junkie, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Hello, good morning and welcome. So if anybody has any questions, get ready to have them in the chat for when Lori comes. Laura will be here anytime soon. And if you have anything special going on, Jennifer's been dropping links. Make sure you do check out their channel. And if you like their content, make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications, but most importantly, leave comments, give them the thumbs up. All that helps their channel. And of course, Jennifer just dropped her feature channel of the week, but I'm going to drop her regular channel link. So that way you can check out her channel. If you haven't, make sure you go check out all her videos. She just started putting out some more. I think she just finished her part 2 of the last jewelry jar. She had to do it in 2 parts. And here is her Etsy store. That's where she lists her things once she's got it unpacked from going through her jewelry drawers or bags and that kind of stuff. Let's see here. And there's her buy her milkshake. All right, let's see here. I just saw some other peddling profits. Hello, good morning and welcome. In Van City Adventures. Hello, good morning and welcome. And how you doing? Good to see you. Tina, hello, good morning and welcome. And Mona did what? Hello, good morning and welcome. And how are y'all doing? Happy TGIF. I am so glad to say that today we're supposed to get in the 50s. Thank God, because that snow needs to melt. It's still high on my back patio. But on the front, it did melt on my driveway. A little bit. Left, not much. So today I'm just working on all of that good stuff, listing all this jewelry, getting ready for some. I'm making some jewelry bags up for this weekend. I have a whole bunch of inventory that I'm trying to move. So I'm making some more mystery bags for this weekend. Hey, good morning and welcome, Danny Mae. How are you doing? Good morning, hello, and welcome. And there's Nora, the Stock Explorer. Hello, good morning and welcome. And how you doing? Also, don't forget, if you would like to be a guest on the Deals of the Dawns, you don't have to be a Dawn to be a guest. We are booked right now in April. Let's see. Let me go to my calendar real quick on that one. March, and then we got April. April's booked already. And in May, I do have openings in May and in June. So that's my next month. Remember, please use the Kajun Roots email down below to email me if you want to be on those. Also, don't forget, if you are a member, starting the first Tuesday of each month, I think I have 6 or 8 right now that want to sign up for the first one, which will be the first one will be April the 4th. And that will be for members only on the panel, but we'll be live for everyone to come on in and enjoy the show. So if you are a member, please make sure you do reach out to me on that email that was in the members only video that I just did Tuesday, so I can have your information that you want to be there. And we'll have our first show on April 4th. And also, if you're a member, don't forget on the last Friday of each month, we're going to be doing the karaoke style, having a good night with karaoke. And it will be a private because it'll be members only. Indiana Chris, how are you doing? Long time no see. Hello, good morning and welcome. Tip of the fine day. Let's see. Stock Explorer, everybody's saying hello to each other. So what does everybody have planned for the weekend? I know I was watching Victoria this morning while I was going through all this jewelry this morning, and I saw that they were all basically live from Florida at the meetup. So I got all my things I want to line up today and tomorrow, get some things done, work in my garage, get some more videos out for my storage unit to get that back in swing, Now that hopefully there's going to be no more snow. That is my goal. But also this Sunday I will be with Mark and Mike, and I want to say that the 30th of this month I'll be on with Ella in Glamour's Closet on Ella's channel as a guest. Cool. So I'm just waiting on Laura to get here. She's bringing her children to school, and she'll be here as soon as she can. Let's see here. Also, don't forget to check out the community tab where I do a lot of posting there for the community, whether it is the link to the calendar or even feature channels of the week and the shout outs of 6 channels every Wednesday. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the calendar is the 4th one down from the community tab if you want to check out the calendar. I noticed that there's going to be some information I'll share with y'all on Monday for YouTube. There's some new videos that came out with some updates coming up. What's up, Sherry? Hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? And Roy, hello, good morning and welcome. And how you doing? Good to see y'all. Welcome. Yeah, I'm just waiting on Laura to get here, and as soon as she gets here, we'll get started with the. Speaking of, I got my list of questions right here that was asked from last week too. Offset ads, return policies, promote listing questions, and partnership checkout. And I think that's her. Yep, that's her. She's here, y'all. Nana J, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are y'all doing? Good to see you. Thank you, Danny Mae. Yes, Jennifer is our feature channel of the week, y'all. What's up? Finally, the temperature is going up today. We're going to be in the 50s today. Thank you, Jesus. All right, so let's bring on none other than here's DzinesLaura. Good morning.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Yes, top of the morning to ya.
Top of the morning.
St. Patty's Day. Hello, Hetty. Hello, good morning and welcome. So now that we can go and get ready, 60s here today, nice. Yeah, we're going to be in the 50s today, which I'll take that because I want that the snow to melt. I'm tired of seeing it. It's so thick right now, it's hard to get off the patio. Geneva, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. So if you don't have any questions for Laura, what it has to do with Etsy, please make sure you do write the word question all in caps, or you can just put the letter Q in cap and then put @Kajun Reseller so I can definitely see your message. Hello, good morning and welcome, Susie. How are you doing? Good morning, hello, and welcome. So what we're going to do first is I want anybody who may not know who you are, promote yourself, talk a little bit about what you got going on, and then we'll get into some easy questions.
Okay.
Actually, we're going to recap from Fridays because I know we had some questions that you were going to research.
Okay, well, I have a lot going on. Maybe I'm extra smiley today because, wow, you guys are amazing people. You guys are making my dreams come true, honestly, because I've been watching y'all for over a year and thinking that my items didn't fit here. But you guys are making my dreams come true. My channel is new, but I'm not new to selling. I've been making items for 30 years. I did my first craft fair 30 years ago. I sold my first item on Etsy 10.5 years ago, and I made my first YouTube sale just this year. So it's very, I'm having a blast. I'm meeting fantastic people. I did go ahead yesterday. I set up a solo sale. I scheduled it, that's the correct word, on YouTube. So it's for Monday in 3 days at 1 o'clock Central Time. I did manage to put up a thumbnail or I'm not sure, I'm learning the lingo. There's a picture there that shows what I'm going to be selling that day. And then right after this show or shortly after this show, the Stock Explorer has invited me to come on and talk about my channel. And then one more, I have lots going on, but the next most recent thing that I'm going to have going for sure is Two Old Guys Vintage has invited me to be on their Sunday sale, and that's April 23rd. So there'll be more time to talk about and promote that, but I've also gotten invites from Deb's Woodworking and Ella. So that's what's coming up, guys.
I already saw a question in the chat when you made a comment about where it went. I'm on the wrong part. Let's see where it went. Right here. YouTube sales. What's that? Good morning, Jeannie and Mike. How are y'all doing? And Brandon, hello, good morning and welcome. Let's see. Chu, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Question, we got one already. Is there a way to overcome the per item listing fee?
No, it's called fee evasion. If you do find a way, like you tried to put a listing up, and then you tell people to go off of Etsy, it's called fee evasion, and your store will be permanently shut down. Etsy has their fees. If you don't want to pay, I'm sorry, maybe this is too harsh, but if you're not willing to pay the fees to sell on any platform, don't do it. There's no way to get around it legally.
Well, but you got to remember too, the fees are for the 30 cents, it's for 4 months.
And it's 20 cents, yes.
And it's 20 cents, yeah.
Yeah. And one thing you can do that is not fee evasion, and I did this, okay? So when I started on Etsy, my first item was a very high-end specialized thing. But after I sold about 3 or 4 of those in a row, I thought I need to keep this going. So I picked the most beautiful pattern of silverware I could find, which is the pattern I'm going to be selling Monday. I put up a bracelet and a spoon ring, and I made the quantity of like 10. Okay, I had 10. I could do that. You pay 20 cents to put up a listing of 10, and then if one sells, it relists, and you then pay another 20 cents. So you're still paying the 20 cents, but you're doing it on one listing that could sell 10 times. So replenishables are a way to pay the 20 cents one time, and if you rather than list 10 items that are different, and then you end up paying $2. Hopefully that made sense.
I don't know. For some reason, I thought it would charge me 30 cents.
It's 20 cents.
Okay. Let's see. Speaking of listings, I think I have just the basic store, and I think they give me 20 to list a month. Is that because I have the free level store?
Etsy does have different levels. I would have to look that up because I don't have a subscription to Etsy. I just list in my shop generically. Yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed when I go to do the listing, it gives me 20 a month, and I think I got 2 left for this month. So yeah.
That could be. Yeah. The store subscriptions. Yeah.
Yeah, because at the top it'll tell you how many you have left for the month.
There you go.
Now we're gonna go back to last week's. I know we had some questions, and I know you and I both wrote some notes down. You were going to be checking into, or we had a question in reference to partners checkout with Facebook.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not sure if that had to go with the Google ads, offsite ads as well, because I had those two together.
Yep, I thought we talked about that last week, but they call it the Google checkout.
Yeah.
Yeah, the partner checkout. Yeah. Not every listing is eligible for the Google checkout.
Okay.
First of all, you need to be enrolled in the outside Etsy ads, whether you're forced into it or you opt into it. And I can, if I need to go over that again, I will. Shops that have made 10,000 or more in any calendar year, you are forced into outside ads. Shops under that can opt into it. So you have to be in outside Etsy ads. Your listings must offer free shipping, no variations, and the buyers must be in the U.S. and the shop must ship to the U.S. It actually has to be a U.S. shop as well. That could expand more globally, but Etsy will usually start new programs in the U.S. The controversy that I was able to find that shops don't like is that not all of your listing information is visible. The description for your item is not visible. So somebody could go ahead and check out just by looking at a picture, your policies, and they see free shipping, but they don't see the description, which could have information like size, things that are really important to know. So also the other thing that was controversial about that was if it's through Google or Facebook or whatever because it's on multiple sites. I've even seen these ads on YouTube. I've seen my items being advertised on YouTube. I was going to take a screenshot and show y'all, but life gets busy. That sale is under the Etsy terms of use, and then you're also forced to follow Facebook's terms of use. And sometimes they have a no returns policy that could be, you could have your own policy, but it'll be overridden by Facebook and Etsy. And so so if you do not want to be part of the Google Partner Checkout Program through Etsy, if you can opt out of outside Etsy ads, that's one way to do it. But if you want to still participate in that, don't offer free shipping or put a variation in your listing. That will, I'm not enrolled. Because I don't offer free shipping right there, that knocked me out. I hope that explained it.
You said you saw it on YouTube. Who's advertising on YouTube for your Etsy?
It was Etsy.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they had a YouTube channel.
No, it wasn't on. They do have a YouTube channel, but like Johnny, like when I come into your in the morning, I see my items are up at the top. My jewelry items, my spoon rings and bracelets are shown up at the top, and it has a little Etsy logo. So if I were to click on that, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So Peddling Profit has a question. Have you pinned your items on Etsy? If so, have you noticed more traffic to your store? That's a good, excellent question.
Is pinned Pinterest? I'm not sure what a pin is.
It just says, have you pinned your items on Etsy?
If that's Pinterest, if pinned is a Pinterest word, no. I did long time ago, and they still show up every once in a while. Other people have pinned my items on Pinterest. Yeah, Pinterest. Okay. Other people have pinned my items on Pinterest, which I feel is probably better than me doing it. I don't go to Pinterest very often. My favorite social media to use is YouTube. Twitter.
Hello, good morning, and welcome, Susie. I was going to say hello to her, but I'm good. Okay, Glams. Hello, good morning, and welcome. And are you yet you have a new grandbaby yet? Let us know. And good morning, hello, and welcome. So I'm going to go back to a couple of questions I had, because I think we were extending this from last week about the return policies. I know we talked in reference to if you offer free shipping. Well, like on eBay, for example, when you are listing and you go to put free returns, is that something that how does Etsy handle free return policy?
And it's case by case, so it's different. Etsy will look at your shop's policies. If you don't have a return policy, then Etsy will do whatever they decide to do. And mine is set at no returns unless I make a mistake. And I do ask, if people reach out to me, I do accept them, but I don't advertise it, because it created a situation only on Etsy. It isn't this way on other platforms, but on Etsy, I was doing the free shipping, accepting returns, and then I was getting a different kind of buyer. It was a buyer who didn't read the description and just wanted to wear it once or twice and then return it. And because of free shipping, and after that happened a few times, I decided that wasn't my market. So I started charging for shipping, and then I accept returns if I made a mistake, but if there's a problem with your order, and I put that in the package, please contact me and I'll take care of it. So you're going to have to decide who your market is, because it will bring you on Etsy. It will bring you a different customer. If you do free shipping and returns, you will get a different customer than you get if you charge for shipping.
So does that hurt your account as far as, like for me, for example, like I think it was 2 weeks ago, we talked in reference to like the tags and your titles and stuff like that. So I did take the time last week and I went through everything I had, but I noticed that they also give you a choice for returns, whether it's 15 days, 30 days, or I think there's like 3 choices. Yeah. So I put all mine at 15 days return. But do I need to specify somewhere that it's only for damaged or things like that, or should I specify any of that kind of stuff? And where should I put that?
Ooh, okay. Yes, you can You can make specifications on there, and I'm going to have to look up where to specify that because it's different than what I currently do. So I will look up where to specify return terms.
Because like on eBay, you have to set your own business policy. So does Etsy have that as well?
No, they don't have like a business policy. But you can now, this is kind of new, where you can have a different return policy for different items in your shop. Yeah. Like say you were selling, well, like your handmade quilts might have a different return policy than your vintage items.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, then I need to check into that. Because I did see where you can check, you can say create shipping, but I wasn't sure how that works. Yeah. All right, so if anybody has any questions for Etsy for Laura, go ahead and ask in the chat. Please make sure you write the word question all in caps or the letter Q and at Kajun Roots so I can see it for you. Hello, good morning, and welcome, Ella. My next one is, you kind of touched bases on this last week, and somebody made a question about it, but I think it was towards the end of the show. Promoted listing on your Etsy store.
Yeah, Etsy.
How you do that?
Etsy has different types of advertising, and one of them, the promoted listings, that is promoted on Etsy. If you opt in, and promoted listings is 100% opt in or opt out. They don't segregate shops according to how successful you are or are not. So anyone can opt in and anyone can opt out. Those ads are only seen on the Etsy site.
Okay.
You can set a daily budget. You cannot control, and it is per click, not if you sell something. It's if somebody clicks on it, you will pay, even if it doesn't sell. You are not in control of how much that click will cost you. I know when they first rolled it out, their new version of it, some of those clicks were, if you were selling a high-end piece of sterling silver, you could have a very high click rate, $5, $6. And if your budget is set at $10 a day, 1 to 2 clicks and you're done. Now, not all of them are that high, but you have no control over the clicks. So when they rolled we used to be able to control our clicks. I used to put mine at 2 cents, $10 a day, and it worked fantastically for me. But when they rolled out the no control over the clicks, I chose to opt out. That's how you get a bill without selling anything. I mean, you get a bill higher than your sales, is if you do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not cool. Yeah, I think I've opted out because I don't remember having that when I go to list anything. But again, I'm still learning. I'm still checking everything out. We had a question, and I'm not sure if you were able to find out about this. I think you may have wrote it down too. Last week we had the stats ask a question about cards on Etsy.
Okay.
Cards or whether it be all the different types of like cards.
Sports cards. Yeah. Sports cards, collectible cards. And yes, you can sell them on Etsy. I started to list. First of all, I did my search. And yes, they're there. They're in the vintage category, but that is not enough research to say if something is Etsy legal. So then I started I didn't even want to ask Etsy because they're not answering my other questions. So I decided to do my own research. I started a listing for sports cards, and vintage sports cards is what I typed into the title, and then those options come up. You know, it asks you those questions. Did you make it? I said no. Did somebody else make it? Yes. When was it made? I put 1970s or 80s. I can't remember. And then it came up a category suggestion. There's actually a category on Etsy specifically saying collectible sports cards. So yes, you can sell them as long as they are at least 20 years old.
All right. We have a question here from Tina. Do lots do well on Etsy?
No. There is this high level of people who are able to make a living on Etsy. And I know that make a living is a variable. They call it 5%, or at one point it was 2%. I don't know what it currently is, but that's what it used to be. Etsy then tried to implement some things to kind of spread that out. So I have a feeling that it's more like 20 to 30% now, that maybe not 30, more like 20% now that are successful as far as you can make a living, or at least enough money to make it worth a lot of time. I'm going to have to put that more at 20%. But there are a lot of shops that will come into the forums and say that they're not making any sales. Sometimes, though, they're not doing all they can do to make the sales. And it isn't even just like the item. It's, are you using your tags? Are you using good words in your title? So it kind of does fall on us to be somewhat successful. And then you got to figure out search.
All right, I just saw where Peddling Profit says it's in the settings, policy settings for returns and exchanges. Let me write my notes down so when I'm done, I can also get back into there and check it out. And it's under the policy section. Settings. All right, we have another question. And this one is from right here. Danny May says, question, listing 10 items for 20 cents. They have to be identical items? If not, does it show all 10 items when you're doing the multiples?
Danny, yeah, they need to be identical. A replenishable would be an identical item, because if you make if you send out something that isn't the same as the picture and the description, the customer isn't going to be happy. So when I did it, I put up 10 spoon rings. They were the exact same pattern. By variable was the size. So like I had the same sunflower ring, but then the customer could pick which size they wanted. That's the variation that you can set up in a listing. So I had it from like 7 to 13, but the ring would look the same when it got to the customer. If I would have put 10 different patterns, like a sunflower ring or a rose ring, then it's going to create confusion, because you're hoping that the customer read everything and that they realize that they're not going to get what's in the first picture. I don't recommend that at all. I would make it a replenishable.
Okay, I'm going to get something real quick, because Danny May, are you okay with me showing the items that I want to have? My next question is about you, Danny May. Let me know if you say yes in the chat. I'm going to go get it. My next question, while I get this box, you were talking about getting in touch with Etsy, and you were having issues. When contacting Etsy, is it easy to get in touch with them? And if so, or what would be the best way to contact them if you have issues or questions with Etsy, and will they help you? And how long does that take for them to get back to you?
Okay, so, and I contacted Etsy this last week. I had to contact them twice. It was not a good week on Etsy for a lot of people, and I was struggling with two of their issues. There is a chat button, so you can get in touch with them, but you don't actually always get the help you need. You know, when I first started coming on Johnny's, I put a question out there about where something is handmade and vintage. Where do I list it? They have never gotten back to me. So even though that wasn't a dire thing, they never got back to me. So you can get in touch with them. There's also the option of requesting a phone call, which I did last week as well. They called me, but they never fixed the issue. Those of you on Etsy right now, there is an issue with package tracking being stuck at pre-transit and not updating to in transit or to delivered. And I'm stuck in that, and I have to make the daily chat with them and ask them to please update because it will lower your score for star seller. If you don't stay on top of their issues, your star seller score goes down. And I've been spending an hour every morning in chat with Etsy to get that to update. It's not easy, it's possible, and sometimes you never get an answer. I was also one of the shops that wasn't getting paid because of the banking failure. They never did get back to me on that one, but it did finally resolve after 3 business days.
Okay. And she says, yes, but we got another question in the chat. Let me go back to my stars here. That was Danny May. Sure. Okay, here we go. The next one was, how long does it take you to make a ring? They are beautiful.
It takes a long time. I have to find the silverware, and it has to be in almost new condition, if not new, no scratching. I don't like any wear or scratching. Then I put it through the process of I tarnish it to a black, and then I polish just the raised areas so it's shiny. Then I start to bend it, and I have to smooth it, and then I size it, then I photo it, and I list it. It's hours. And it took 30 years. I made my own tools to do it as well. So I always say 30 years plus a couple of hours.
All right, we have another question. Spirit Junkie has a question. Am I allowed to mention a YouTube channel that discusses Etsy for the people on this channel, Cajun Roots, if there are any interest in additional information? Yeah, you're always welcome to drop it if you know somebody who does that. With Etsy. Yeah, you're more than welcome to.
There is someone, and I'm probably going to say her name wrong, Cara Bunton, that she talks a lot about Etsy. Yeah, just the one caution I'm going to say, and not just about Cara, but a lot of people, if you need more information, some of them get very clickbaity, where they'll tell you, I can get you to the first page of Etsy, or, in search. Be careful. Search on Etsy is curated. One person may see you on the first page. You may see yourself on the first page because Etsy is saying, oh, this person already clicked on this, so we're going to show it to you again. Somebody else may not. So if someone promises you can get on the first page, just make sure you really look at everything they're telling you, that it's factually correct.
All right, the next question is, are your patterns digital products or tangible shippable items?
Mine are tangible shippable items. Digital products are allowed on Etsy.
Got another one stored right here. Here we go. Susie says, I haven't had any issues with customer service, so it varies from type of issue. And again, I was just curious about that because you did mention that.
I'm going to address that. This week, I've made 3 chats with Etsy. The first chat, they denied to help me. They said it was a technical issue. Then I read in the forums that somebody was having no problem getting someone in chat to help them. So the next day I tried again. That person just immediately helped me. Now, yesterday I was in chat again, and that person gave me the runaround. I said, listen, yesterday the person in chat helped me, and I'm expecting the same service today. And the person said, well, let me go check your previous chat. And then they came back and they helped me. So I had to stand my ground to get help.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's only through the chat, through the service, that you can deal with them.
No, you can request a phone call, which I also requested a phone call on the other day that I didn't chat. I got no help that way. You have to stand your ground.
Okay. We have the next one. Pauline Prophet says, we had the transit issues, had to do the same thing. Looks as if the issue is getting solved slowly. Same boat with the payment paid out of Tuesday.
Yeah. Some shop sellers, and it was 5% of us, were being paid from the bank that failed. And we were, our deposits did not come through our accounts. That issue didn't bother me as much as the shipping thing, because the shipping thing was showing on my homepage that it was saying, hey, she doesn't ship on time. To me, that's slander. But I actually wrote an email to Josh. I've written to Josh Silverman, the CEO, 4 times, and I wrote to him this week. But anyway, the banking issue, I figured it was going to take those extra 3 business days, and it did. It was a few extra business days. They needed to get their ducks in a row. I didn't really feel like it was Etsy didn't cause that issue. Actually, I thought they were very smart in having their disbursements spread across more than one bank, so it was only 5% of us. it was a little unsettling, but they didn't really communicate very well. So I was going to wait my amount of time, but it did clear up.
Spirit Junkie says it's Starla Moore, and I just pulled up her YouTube channel.
Oh yes, yeah, I've watched a little bit of her.
So I have it up. I'm gonna check it after the show. Paste that in the chat. And who else just came in? Trying to make sure I don't miss anyone. Going back and forth, all these buttons back and forth. Oh yeah, Corner Clubhouse. Hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Let's see here. We have a 10 reseller collab today starting at 10 a.m. The schedule is premiered. 10 reseller collab today. Where's that starting at? Oh, Deborah. I didn't know about that one. Oh, it's gonna be a premiere. Nope, yeah, premiere at 1 o'clock. Okay. Let's see here. Coffee with Barbie, and tomorrow Coffee with Glams. That's at 10 o'clock. Look, I've got another one. Let's see right here. Etsy uses priority placement in search when a seller uses shipping guarantee. Shipping guarantee means a seller free shipping and items that cannot wait. So it's got to be labeled.
Oh.
Priority guaranteed. Shipping guarantee. What does that mean?
Okay, so you can do a free shipping guarantee where if the customer places an order of $35 or more, which usually means multiple items, that they get free shipping. And Etsy tells us that you get priority placement in search when you offer free shipping or the free shipping guarantee. But I'm going to tell you, you get a different kind of customer. You get a different kind of customer with that. And I've got enough history of it to know that you will get a different kind of a customer if that's what you're going to go with.
We had no problem with Etsy called us in minutes. I think it depends on the representative, helpful. And I guess it depends on the topic as well. It's almost like eBay. Stacy, New York starts us off. Shady, New York starts us off at 10. Oh, okay. I'll check it out after the show. All right, so Danny May, I think, was asking those questions because if you missed her last Friday, very first ever auction live on her channel, I'm going to show you what I did. I got several lots, actually, is what I won on her auction, but just an example. These are all the cards that I bought from her, and she had these in different lots, and she makes each one. There is no two the same, and she signs them. So she has variety of cards, and this is just to name a few. Like this one, this is with the lady sewing on a sewing machine, and she also puts them in a protective sleeve, and it's got the envelope with it, and it's basically a design that she does. Oh yeah, I got my 4-leaf clover on my finger. There's her little card, and she makes these, and then she signs them on the back. And so that was her question in reference to the same listing but multiple quantities. But then again, I think that's why she was asking that, because a lot of these she does, but they're all different. So there's never the same. So like she's got these different ones that she makes.
Okay, so I must not be subscribed to Danny May because I don't remember getting anything about this.
Yeah, she did it on Friday, and she's thinking about doing another one. But she makes these herself, and she signs them, and then she puts them in these protective sleeves. So she actually made this on the auction for lots. I mean, there's so many. My favorites. Oh, you remember the simplicity patterns? She even made some of these.
I would love to be. I don't know how to find her on YouTube, and if she would like me to help her with getting, I don't know if she's already on Etsy or not. But I would love to help you get a listing up where you could use a variation. I'm sorry, what?
She's thinking about it, I think.
Okay.
I know she's on eBay. She just started selling on eBay.
I think that
what I'll do is I'll go ahead and drop the link now because I don't see no other questions in the chat.
Okay.
Question, here we go. I do see one. Where did it go?
If I click it in StreamYard, I don't know what's going to happen.
Go to the 3 dots, but also when you go to the 3 dots, right click your mouse and say open in another tab so you don't lose the tab. But that's just a sample of some of her stuff that she did. I mean, even the flowers. I mean, that's just a few. It's great work. It looks better in person than it did actually on the camera. But again, that's typical.
Danny May Adventures.
Even the photographer one.
I think your items would be so wonderful on.
These are the ones that the reason I got some of these is because these are going in my antique booth. But also there's some of these I'm using for like my 95-year-old stepmother's birthday is this July. And I'm going to send her the one with the sewing machine because she loves to sew, but she can't hardly see anymore. So she can't sew as much as she used to. So yeah, these are great for you write your own personal message. There's nothing on the inside. You basically write your own message.
There are people selling cards. I've actually purchased them because they're so beautiful on Etsy. One of the things that Etsy does really well are their different kinds of cards. I've seen people, the person I purchased from had 4 different styles in per one listing, and then you could pick the quantity. Setting up the variations, it might be complicated the first time, but once you get through it, the first time you can have different, like I wouldn't do more than 4 maybe in one listing. And then you could pick like option A has 5 available. Option D has 2 available. You can do that on Etsy. Where eBay, you can't do that. The variations work differently from Etsy to eBay, and Etsy got it right, in my opinion. But yeah, you could definitely put up maybe 6 at the most. You know your products better than I do. Maybe you have 6 that are sewing machines, so they kind of go together. You could definitely do that.
Well, for example, she did like the way she did her lots. Like she did this one that was all flowers, but they were all different flowers.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She had like
that makes
5.
Actually that will increase your sales if you put all the flowers in one listing. Someone like me who's in love with flowers, I'm going to buy more than one of those. I'm probably going to get one of each, and it's right there in front of me in one listing rather than going into 6 different listings. So for you, Danny May, it makes sense you're not doing a fee evasion at all. Sometimes people ask that question and it's like, oh gosh, they're trying to not pay the fee. No, you could put up a listing of whatever your most popular or thing that you love the most, like your flowers. You could put all of those in one listing, but you can attach when you do the variation, and I'll help you, but you can attach a picture to a variation. So if you have flower A, say it's a daffodil, you would have, if someone clicked on daffodil, the picture changes to the daffodil. And say this next option is a rose. When someone clicks on that variation, then the rose picture shows up. That way it is clearly communicating to the customer what they're selecting and putting in their cart.
Right. So yeah, she does like these little cartoon looking ones. I mean, they basically almost the same style, but not the same pictures.
Right.
So yeah, she's got like those lots. Then she's got the ladies. So yeah, she's got all these different lots that she can do.
These are
I've been
beautiful.
talking with her about these, and she makes these and then she signs them.
Beautiful.
Yeah. All right, so I did put the link in the chat if you would like to come on and join us on the panel with the conversations in reference to Etsy. That's our topic for the day on Fridays. You're more than welcome to join us. It is at the top of the chat. I do ask that you do have your camera on so we can verify. Hello, Chicago lady. Hello, good morning and welcome. There's Danny May's information. There's her Instagram.
Okay.
If you want to go to the 3 dots or even go to the link, but open it in a new tab, it'll open a whole separate tab for you so you don't get out where you're at.
Okay.
And so if anybody would like to join us, you're more than welcome to join us. It is at the top of the chat. And also, if you are looking to get in touch with Laura, if you go in the description bar below, Jennifer has been dropping the links in the chat. But in the description bar below, I use every show that I do. Anyone who's on the show with me, their information is in the description bar below. And so you can check that out and get their information, whether it be their Etsy store, their YouTube channel, email, all of that's in the description bar below. But if you'd like to join us on the panel, the link is at the top of the chat. And I think that's all the questions we had written down that I had wanted to, and I'll basically mark my answers in green so I know they were done. There's some things I want to get done too. So, My mom makes me sign them. Yeah, that's a great thing. And when I told her, I said, I didn't see your signature on them when I got in touch with her yesterday. I said, I'm very disappointed. You said you signed them. I don't see no signature. But then again, I didn't open it. I left them in the little cell, the bags that she puts them in. Yeah, she said, look at the back of them. And so, yeah, she does sign them. I love messing with Danny Mae. But she has come a long way. She's even started listing on eBay. Susie, happy birthday. Today's Susie's birthday. Susie, is that your birthday today? Which Susie? Because I think we have two Susies here. So yeah, please, you signed them. Yes, she does. She did sign them in the back of, like, there's an envelope that goes with it and the back of the card. And she even makes some bigger ones too. So yeah. It's the 21st. Well, guess what? I'll put you on the calendar. Susie. Woozy. Birthday. I have to do that right now because if I don't, I'll forget. It's an all-day affair. Repeat every year. Customize yearly. Done. Save. Make it in purple so it's at the top of the chat. All right, Susie. Actually, when the 21st will make 3 years that I have been doing on YouTube the Hump Day auction. And then in July will be 3 years that we've been all together as the same co-host together. Let's see here. The booty chick, is she here? Did I miss her? I think I'm catching up with everybody. If you have any questions, also put them in the chat. You should. Yes, she does. There's Dawn. Hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good morning, hello, and good to see you. And again, today is all about Etsy. So if you do have any questions, please make sure you do write them in the chat with the question mark, a question in caps and or the Q with at Kajun Roots so I can see it. Yes, happy birthday early. Everybody's talking about it. Okay. So again, we had the point where I did open the chat for anybody who would like to come on the panel. You're more than happy. Yes, third anniversary for Hump Day auction will be on the 21st. And so yeah, if you have any questions, please ask. We're trying to make sure we help you in any way we can. And if at this time I'm gonna ask Lori, is there any tips? Because there are some people who are like, I haven't started yet. I'm thinking about it. Not sure what should I do. Kind of, if you would, there's stats. By the way, stats, thank you very much. She did answer your question in reference to the cards. So if you want to go back and rewatch it, I did ask, and she did check it out. So if you want to rewind it to when she answered that question, she did take care of that question for you from last week. And by the way, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated for the super sticker. And this is for you, everybody. It is time for the chair dance. Glamours, get ready, because here we go. And this is for you, Stats. The dollars, let me have it, please. I got the dollars.
Let him have.
You got the dollars? We got the offer? Let them have it with no problem. Let them have it. Thank you very much. There's Mark and Mike, Tool Guys, Vintage and Resell. Hello, good morning, and welcome. Dawn emailed Johnny to put on the calendar. I thought I had one on there. Did I miss something in the chat? Dawn and Susan would be doing a weekly too. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Jennifer, for telling her that. Yeah, I didn't know. I'll make sure and do that. Or do I have you already? And that's at 3 o'clock. No, I don't have you. So yeah, definitely do that, Dawn, so I can add you to the calendar. Hello, Wildflower. Good morning. Hello and welcome. So again, hello, Carol. How are you doing? Yes, the luck of the Oddish. Good morning and top of the morning to you. So as I was asking before the super sticker came in, yes, please do email me. Again, maybe some tips on what they should maybe think about trying to getting into Etsy. Some of the obstacles in case if they want to get in, what would be some of the easier things for them to maybe list or look into to get that first step? Hello, Cool Ranch, to be able to do that and just don't worry about it and just get into it. Give us some few tips.
I think the first tip I'm going to say, I don't know where you're at in your journey. If you've already opened the shop, you do need to start to open it. The first step is to, get your email in there, your shop name. You need to decide on a shop name. I recommend your shop name match your other names across the internet. Know what you're going to list the first thing. I mean, know what that's going to be, because the second step in opening the shop is listing something. And you don't want to get stuck on that. So you're going to need to, and if you want to know what to list, I would pick something that you know well. If you're a sports cards person, you can list those sport cards that are at least 20 years old. If you're hand making something, just make sure that you don't have a production partner that first time. I don't think it's, unless that's all you're going to do, you're going to have to research the production partner. So I keep it simple. Keep it something that's clearly okay to list on Etsy, whether it's a true supply, true vintage, which is 20 years or older, or truly handmade by you. I would pick one of those categories and something you know well enough that you can title it and tag it. And if it's get through that listing, get good pictures up there, and then you have to follow through with step 3 and 4 to open your shop. If you're not sure of the process, once you get that first item listed, ask someone who's on Etsy at least a little while to look at your listing. I've had people list 100 items and make a mistake, and then they had to go back and update 100 listings. It would be better to make that mistake once or twice, have somebody catch it, because you can do a sell similar or a copy listing. I actually think they call it on Etsy, where you can copy your listing, that you get a copy basic information like the title and the tags, and then you can tweak it. So it's better to have somebody, I think, look at it right away. But definitely know what your shop name is going to be and know what you're going to list the first time. You're muted, Johnny.
I just realized it. So what you said in reference to when listing about the keywords or something, I'm trying to understand. I was watching the chat.
Whatever you decide to choose for your first listing, make sure it's something you understand it. Like for me, if I was doing my first listing on Etsy back in time, I listed something I was very familiar with. I didn't just go out and pick a sports card, something I've never sold before. Then I would have had to not only learn how to list that, but then if questions would have come through, I don't know that I would have been very knowledgeable. So I would start with something that you have knowledge of.
And you were saying something about copy something. What was you saying about the copy?
Once you get your first listing up there, like I'm going to pick on Danny May, she's in the card business. So once she gets her first listing up there of flowers, where she has maybe 4 different variations up there, let's say after a week she wants to list sewing machine. I don't know. I'm just picking that out. She can copy her flower listing and then just make changes, tweak it. She would change her pictures. She would change the word flower to sewing machine. She would change her tags. She would get rid of flowers and put sewing machine. Pricing would probably stay the same. Your description would stay the same as far as your size, your quantities, and price would probably stay the same. So a lot of stuff would be the similar. Your policies and your shipping times, all that stuff would stay the same. So it's so much easier to do a copy than it is start from scratch.
Oh, okay. It just I was typing in the chat at the same time, and I can't rewind this. So anyway, thank you very much for that. Now, also, Peddling Profit says, have you noticed lately items that are close to 20 years old, sellers are putting vintage, not the decade it was from, because it doesn't meet the 20-year vintage?
Well, when they list it, I'm pretty sure they have to select a decade somewhere. Yeah, there are a lot of people on Etsy that are cheating. I just shake my head and just make sure that I stay within the rules. I haven't noticed it though.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring on Mark. Mark is in the back room, but I was waiting for you to finish talking because I didn't want to interrupt you and bring him on. There he is, Mark.
Hi,
Mark.
Hi, everybody.
Where did it go? This chat is flying. I love it. Lori. Wow, this chat flew on me again. Right here. Let's see. Laura, that sounds good. Etsy is good. Johnny, it's getting very close to 500. Oh, okay. I thought you were already there. Wow, we got to check that out. Definitely come in Monday. We're gonna definitely promote you. Mark,
Yes.
what you doing this morning? Yeah, you had 471. Awesome. What you got going on in your neck of the woods? Hello, good morning, and welcome.
Good morning, Johnny and Laura.
Hey, Mark.
Yes, I will be on his channel this Sunday as his guest. This
Yay!
Sunday.
Yes, yes,
I'm getting
yes.
things ready as I speak and getting more lights together because I don't want to make sure I don't run out. Sorry, I picked a pair of your earrings. It is let's see, hold on, wait, right there. The booty check says, Laura, I picked up a pair of your earrings.
The booty chick, I'm making sunflower earrings today, girl, and I'm going to try to get them.
Cheryl had a question. Let me get back to that. Sorry, Cheryl, the chat is flying and I'm trying to catch everyone, but let me go back up. Here we go. Question from Cheryl. How do you list hand painted where you're listing something vintage and it asks for partner information? Oh, that's an excellent question.
Oh, yeah, Cheryl, this goes back to my illustration of, I had it on a piece of paper. I had a circle of handmade, vintage, and supply. And then I said, what do you do when they overlap? Like somebody hand painted a picture, but it's vintage. So I reached out to Etsy, almost a month ago. Where do you list that? And they've never gotten back to me. I would go ahead. Is it vintage? If it's 20 years or older, go ahead and list it as a vintage painting. If it is not 20 years, at least 20 years, and you did not paint it, I would not list it on Etsy. Go ahead and list it on eBay. You could get into trouble, hon.
Yeah, I find it's important to put it's not a vintage, I'll go into that list of years. If I see a year that I know that what it is, I'll put it in that year category.
Yes.
I'm not going to put it as vintage. Yeah.
And that will keep you out of trouble. But yeah, if that painting was painted 5 years ago, but not by you, don't list it on Etsy. If it was more, if there's a date, you're like maybe the artist passed away more than 20 years ago, it's okay to list it as a vintage item.
All right, Mark, let's go ahead and promote your channel and tell everybody what's going on. And I know you got some things coming up in the near future on your channel.
Well, yes.
It wouldn't be the same without it.
Huh?
I said it wouldn't be the same without it.
Good morning, everyone. Well, so let's see. Sunday, Virtual Shopkeeper Dee Dee and Crack and Christine, we are going to do the Joy of Sunday auction. Hold on a second. All right. And that's April. Wrong month. See? It looks like we're going to have Scooter Renee as a special guest on the Joy of Sunday auction. And then Michael and I, that's at 3 p.m. Eastern time, Sunday. And then we jump off and Michael and I start our show. And we are so pleased and blessed to have Johnny Kajun Roots Reseller on our channel. And then Monday at 3:30 p.m. is Bingo, where I am Johnny's co-host. I think that covers it right now. You're muted.
I wanted to say, make sure you are at the show because maybe Mark might not have a lot or some jewelry, but I am preparing for those who have been into my auctions before that I have auctioned off the Kajun Roots poly bags, and it'll be at least 2 pounds or more of jewelry. That is all. And then again, I'm just going to kind of show the side views because these are like new things that I'm bringing in this weekend on the show. They're new items. That is going to be everything in my bag is in bags. If it's a chain, it'll be not, so you don't have to sit there and untangle everything. And there's many people who know that they bought from me before. They know how I send my orders out. Everything is in its individual bag. I am in the process of making some more. I ran out. I usually do 6 to 8 per show, and I got to make some more. So that's what my goal is right now. Is to get those made by at least Sunday because I'm also going to be on Ella's show, so I'm making sure I get some more for this month coming. I saw another show. What does a leprechaun eat for lunch? Is he reading off a paper?
No, no, I'm not. This is
Yes.
strictly off the top of my head. That's why I'm stuttering. And
Well, let me help you, Mark. Okay, so Mark and Michael, I've been watching you guys ever since I first discovered you. I have not missed a Sunday. They invited me to be on their show April 23rd. And what I learned from you guys is to sell things from your own collection. So I will be bringing spoon jewelry from my own collection. And it's some pretty fun stuff. So, yep.
Well, I'm also you said that I'm also having some more that I'm going through of my own personal collection that I wore.
Yep.
And the only time I ever wore them was when we would go to Mardi Gras balls. You have the tuxedo, and it was always who would have the most brooches on their lapels.
Ooh.
So I had mine from the bottom peak all the way around the top portion of my lapel. I'd have one in my little pocket with my little handkerchief and all that stuff. And so a lot of that I've been selling out, and I got some more that I'm going through. And yeah, you got to downsize sometimes. Right. And I've enjoyed it, so I want to have others to enjoy it too. Hello, Veronica. Hello, good morning, and welcome. I'll be at the next. Yes. If you missed Danny Mae's first auction last Friday, I have already started listing. I even sent her pictures to show her that, like, for example, one of the items was actually turquoise, not dyed highlight. But anywho, I've went through each piece of those jewelries, and there's 4 of them that I'm going to list that at least 2 of them will pay for everything one of them will pay for everything I bought, actually, because I bought every lot for $5. Nobody bid against me. So each item, I have over half of it already gone on drafts, ready for pictures on eBay and and Etsy. So yeah, you just never know when you're gonna find something good. Okay, what? I already saw that one. All right, wait, what's this one?
When is Danny Mae's next YouTube live? When is she having her next one?
Danny Mae, you got a question?
I'm going to sub to you as soon as I get off here. I want to know.
Oh yeah, and her website. Thank you, Jennifer. Her website is also in the description bar below. If you miss it in the chat, I just saw that Jennifer dropped it. All that is in the description bar below, because she does have a website that she does a lot of her items.
Okay.
And if anybody would like to join us on the panel, you're more than welcome to. I can host up to 10 people. You're more than welcome. Hello, Dawn. How are you doing? Dawn Wright. Good to see you. How you been? Don't forget, if you go to on Mondays and Fridays. On Mondays at 7 o'clock. On Fridays it's at 6 o'clock, which is Jimmy to Flip It. She's his mod in the chat. So definitely make sure you ask questions and go check it out if you have anything to have to do with ephemera. No idea. I was going to do buy. Oh, that's right. She was talking about doing a buy it now video on her next one.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry I missed it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was this past Friday was her first one. So yeah, definitely go check it out, and make sure you hit the notification so you don't miss out.
Oh, yeah.
He's got that's right. He does have a few, but I remember you all the time in there, so I don't think he will be on tonight though. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I know he did an extra one this week somewhere. Got to run. Check out St. Patrick's Day fun. All right, thank you, Deborah. I did a video on an opening purchase from Danny Mae. Oh, that's right. Pam got hers also. There you go. She did a purchase, but I like to show mine on the because, like I said, I have some jewelry already in my photo station that I already processed, and I will be listing this weekend. So if you check out my Etsy store and or my eBay store, all that information is in the description bar below as well. You can definitely check that out. All right, choosing the year 2000 to 2003 shows up as vintage is what some sellers are using when not vintage.
Yeah, they're breaking the Etsy rules. I don't.
Well, I thought 2003 is technically vintage.
Yeah, but
20 years.
What Peddling Profits is saying that they're selecting that, but the item that they're listing isn't actually.
Okay. I see that.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that there's cheaters out there.
Yeah, and don't forget, Ella's doing her live at 10. Go ahead. What you said, Laura?
Oh, Ella, I got your message, and yes, I'll respond to you as soon as I can today.
And there's Pam's new video she just did on the release of what she got from Danny Mae on her first auction. I just showed you on the screen, but the jury is already processing, so I don't want to bring them out from that area. You mean offer, Ella? She caught you, huh, Ella? Driving me nuts when I see magazines and DVDs on Etsy like 220. Ooh, really?
Yep.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Dawn asked, are they listed as handmade? I'm not sure what you're asking.
No, they were listed. No, what Peddler said was they were listed as vintage items in the vintage category, and the year they chose was 2000 to 2003, but the item was not older. They were listing, I don't know, like a Tupperware item that was made last week. They're listing items that are less than 10 years old, and they're not being honest about when it was actually made.
She said it wasn't a question. She said she happened to see that listing.
You cannot list in both the handmade and vintage categories. You have to pick it's handmade or it's vintage.
Okay, she says she just happened to see that listing that way. So Etsy needs to be vintage or handmade. Yes.
Or a supply.
That's a good question for those who are thinking about it. Go ahead and cover that again in reference to what can and what they specify on what you can list, because again, I know we had that question a couple of shows ago. Yeah. But being that some of the people are coming in, definitely cover that again in reference to what can be listed.
And even if you've already heard it in the beginning, maybe when we were first talking about it, you weren't interested in Etsy. So like repeating the information is a very legit thing to do. So on Etsy, it needs to be handmade by the shop owner, not just handmade. If somebody else made something, you can only list the things that you yourself have made. And there are a few. That category has an expansion on it, but just to keep things simple, the next category is vintage, and Etsy defines vintage as 20 years or older, and they can come back on you and ask you to provide proof that your item is actually 20 years or older. The other category is supplies, and it can't just be a pair of jeans, because jeans are not inherently a supply. It needs to be a charm or a chain or a clasp. Something that is inherently a supply qualifies. If you're unsure, Etsy, if you can do a Google search on Etsy prohibited items, they don't call it a bureau list, they call it prohibited items, and read through there. If you still have questions, you can also reach out to Etsy through the chat to see if your items are allowed on Etsy's website.
Now, another thing too, you were saying, I think it was somebody made a comment in reference to, come on, let me open all. Okay, it took me 3 times to press on it back. Whenever you go to do that, though, for example, someone made a comment in the chat, I think when that question came up. If, for example, you have something that you have that is homemade, but you didn't make it, but you added, say, a bow to it or a piece of ribbon to it, then therefore that would be considered homemade from you, correct?
Yeah. Etsy also has their own definition of what is handmade. You could buy a chain and a charm and put them together, okay, and that is considered handmade. But they do have a rule of being transparent, and you must tell the customer that that's what you did. That's the transparency. It's part of the description. And then we will let the customer decide if they really want to buy that or not. Some people are on Etsy because they want artisans' work. If somebody just wants to pay you to buy a chain and a charm and put it on there, then that's your customer. I'm not, and if you could buy Johnny's quilt and put a bow on it, and you can sell it because you embellished it.
Thank you, Dawn. She said I wasn't clear. I do. She sells on Etsy too. One of the things too, when it comes to supplies, for example, I might make quilts, but I can also sell the fabric by the yards.
Yep.
Because I do have a lot of it. Because I was thinking about that the other day, and I want to ask you about that because I have remembered when I was making a specific quilt for someone. I never make the same quilt twice, but they wanted a specific quilt. I went to Etsy and bought them by the yard because you got to buy them by the yard, unless you have like the fat quarters or pre-cut pieces and things like that to create something. Then you can list those, but then it has to be by the yard or however you want to sell it.
Yep. Yeah, and you can definitely list that as a supply on Etsy.
wait. Dawn says there is way too much stuff on Etsy from AliExpress. Wish, but I would stop worrying about it because, yeah.
Okay, can I address that, Johnny? Can I
Yes,
address
yes,
that?
yes.
Okay, yes, Don, you are so correct. And let me tell you, I don't spend my creative energy reporting shops. I focus on what I'm doing, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And I figure that the customer will decide what they want to buy. And I'm going to tell you another thing, when you see something on AliExpress and on Etsy, it goes in reverse. My picture of the Jubilee spoon ring that was stolen by AliExpress sellers, my picture of what I made the picture, is being spread all over the internet to the point where people are coming back to me and saying that I didn't make my own item. There weren't enough hours in the day to report all of these, so I don't sell that ring anymore. I took it down. So it can be reversed. You can see a picture on AliExpress that was stolen from an Etsy shop. So it could be either way. Don't automatically assume that the Etsy seller is buying it from AliExpress and selling it. If you go, Jubilee is the name of the pattern. One of these times I'm going to do a video on it. It makes my blood boil that I can't sell this ring anymore because it was stolen.
Wow.
Yeah. I had to get that out. Sorry.
And there's no way you can tag your photos either because they don't want that in your photos, correct?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Tag your photos. Like, for example, if I wanted to tag it with my logo in it somewhere, you cannot do that on Etsy, can you?
You're not supposed to, but I even had one person do a reverse image. They thought I was finding them by searching my image, so they reversed it so that when I did an image search, it wouldn't show up. It's all over Poshmark. It's all over AliExpress. It's all over eBay. eBay, I've been able to get them down. I gave up and just focus on myself now.
I don't worry about any of that. It's enough. I got enough to worry about on my own, much less worry about somebody else's page.
Yep. Focus on yourself and find your customers.
All right, everyone, it's getting to that time because it's getting close to Ella starting her show at 10 o'clock. And you know how I am when it comes to supporting others. I don't want to go over her time so we can get a lot of them of us. If you're interested, go check out her channel. And there's others coming on at 10 o'clock as well. So if you definitely want to check out who's coming on, when, where, what time, please do check out the public calendar that is available in the community tab below. Also, don't forget that I will be on this Sunday with a lot of different types of lots of jewelry. Going through more jewelry because I got to get rid of some of this stuff. And some of it is going in my antique booth. So with that being said, like I said before, in each and every show, I want Laura to give y'all a few tips on what to do when first starting out. What should they worry about or not worry about when taking the plunge and getting into Etsy?
Well,
channel.
Just do it. Start that first step of opening your shop. And I know I've said it before, but know what your first item to list is, because the second step of opening your shop is to list something. So you don't want to stop. You're in the motion. You sat down. You're going to do it. Get that item listed. If you're not sure if you're about your tags and stuff, ask someone who's a seasoned Etsy seller to look at your listing before you do a whole bunch of copies, because it's easier to tweak the first listing than it is to change 100 listings. That's my advice.
Finds of yesterday just put in the chat, and welcome, by the way. I bought to resell a diamond painting on AliExpress, and the American artist came after me.
Mm-hmm. If AliExpress has stolen something that was copyrighted, maybe that original artist owns the rights to that. Yeah, it can happen. If you go out and buy Mickey Mouse material and make 100 skirts out of it for little girls, you can't use that material for resale. You can use that material for your personal use, but you can't use it for resale.
All right, we do have another question from Spirit Junkie. I thought as a buyer on Etsy, I saw watermark photos on Etsy of their product. Is this correct?
Oh, yeah, there can be watermark. You can have a watermark on your photo. I may have misunderstood and misspoke, but you can have that watermark won't completely protect you, is what I really should have said. Even if you have a watermark there, the AliExpress people know how to get rid of that watermark and use your photo anyway.
maybe you could put a maker's mark on your jewelry that shows in your photo. That way it will that way you, if it were ever happen again, it would should make it easier to prove it's yours.
Yeah, no, and you're right. I did for a while keep that listing up, and I put on there. I added text on the photo saying this is the legit. I'm the original. This is the legit. But it's out there like hundreds, if not thousands of times. And people were coming back. People were reporting me saying that I bought this on AliExpress and was reselling it. That just hurt my heart. Like I can't even tell you.
Yeah. And Mark, what do you have coming up this weekend?
Well, I have the Joy of Sunday auction with Craig and Christine and virtual shopkeeper Dee Dee at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday. And then at 6 p.m., Michael and I have Kajun Roots Johnny as a guest.
And what's happening on Monday?
And Monday, I'm the co-host with Kajun Roots Reseller Johnny for bingo.
Yep.
Bingo.
And he did much better last week. He was very nervous the first week, but he's doing much better. And we even got 7 games in this past Monday. So yeah, because usually we get about 6 to 8, depending. Okay, stats statements coming in. Let me wait for it to come in. There we go. This item of idea stealing is crazy on here. Friends spoke of doing 10 new things, stole every idea before it got to be ready. Yeah, that's happening.
You guys, it's not. It does hurt a business. People think, oh, it won't hurt. That was my most popular selling ring, and it does hurt.
Yeah. All right, everyone. So thank y'all for coming by. Don't forget, every Friday we do this at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you have your questions, please write them down and bring them on in right on next Friday at 8:30 for the Q&A all about Etsy. Don't forget, on Monday we do a Q&A all about YouTube and our StreamYard. There is some updates that I will be covering with you on Monday with StreamYard and YouTube. And then, of course, on Tuesdays, it's Q&A all about Etsy. And I'm not sure if Tommy's going to be able to make it because he's on a trip to Alabama. So he may not be able to make it, but he may try to do that in his car while Des is driving. Wednesday is What Not Wednesday with Anthony from Full Time Reselling. By the way, when I say Tommy, that's the bargain effect. And then on Wednesday is What Not Wednesday with Anthony from Full Time Reseller. And then on Thursdays is Q&A all about Poshmark with Glamour's Closet, and then we come right back here on Friday. Also, don't forget tomorrow on the Hoosier Stacker Bingo, I co-host with Hoosier Stacker. Will not be on an air tomorrow because Ida Harrington is doing her St. Jude's Children's Hospital fundraiser that she does on a regular basis, and it's this weekend, and she's doing 10 hours on Saturday and Sunday, starting at 1 o'clock all the way to I think 11 o'clock. So I think it's 10 hours, she said, on this Saturday and Sunday. And also don't forget to check out the calendar for everything that's going on during this weekend. Dirt Road Picker says it wouldn't have become there a big at this quality between the items and theirs. Yeah.
She is exactly correct, because what I did my research on my stolen pictures, and what the customer was receiving was a piece of junk. Yeah. And it really took all spoon jewelry down a notch, because spoon jewelry is high quality piece of jewelry. It will not break. And what they were sending out was a piece of junk. But to end this on a positive note, it made me work harder with the things I do have up there. I love it more. I make sure that I'm extremely honest and legit in what I do. And you know what? I'm doing just fine. So to be positive, yeah, focus on yourself. Use it as a positive to do even better.
All right, everyone. With that being said, thank y'all so much. And as I say before, in each and every show, love always. Love is always free. Make sure you have a great weekend, to where if you're going out and resourcing, there's some places that are getting some bad weather, so be safe. Good treasure hunting. And as I say before in the shows, love always. Love is always free. Please be kind to one another till we meet into another chat. Have a blessed and fabulous day and weekend. And until we meet again, later. Peace out. And if you would like to come on after the show's over, the link is at the top of the chat.